drums and percussion, and a rockin' discussion. It's Rhyme and Reason 543.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're...
Hey there, Tony here with a little backstory this time about, kind of my early beginnings in music. Back in my early teens, I started my lifelong love affair with drums and percussion, and I remember getting a cool Metal Flake Blue snare drum for Christmas one year. It came with instructions on how to do paradiddles and flams and rolls and more and all that kind of stuff. And I got that stuff out and I was working on it. Man, I was hooked. Drum beats have been playing in my head ever since. And I know some of you go, yeah, it must be what's explaining all this. Drum beats in it. Anyway, as I was kind of taken to the drums and percussion, my brother was mastering guitar. And of course, it's every parent's dream, their most fervent dream, to have their sons learn rock guitar and drums and play loud music, right? I mean, what mom or dad hasn't said, I can't wait for Junior to plug into an amp and start rocking? Yeah, in what universe? Bizarro world, right? Yeah, okay, I'm being a little facetious, and that whole rock music thing, that wasn't exactly an acceptable part of growing up in my dad's house. So my brother and I weren't encouraged to give it our best. In fact, you might say we were rebelling if and when we played any top 40 music, from rock anyway. So we practiced our instruments on the music we liked, only when there were no adults around, and when they were around, we'd play music that they liked to hear. That's a good strategy, right? But there was nowhere for me to set up a complete set of drums, so I did all my practicing on my little snare. The little drummer boy on his little snare. It's so cute. Anyway, one summer, while my brother and I were visiting my mom, I've mentioned before that my parents were split up and we stayed in the school year with my dad and summers with my mom. Anyway, so one year we were up there with my mom, and my uncle, who's only a couple years older than me, also visited, and he brought his whole set of drums with him. Oh, Valhalla. I mean, come on. I'll never forget that. It was I say I'll never forget, but I don't remember what brand he had. I want to say it was Slingerland or Pearl, but I don't remember exactly. But his was a red Metal Flake set with chrome rims, had a snare, 2 ride toms, floor tom, ride cymbal, crash cymbal, hi-hat, kick, the full flash and sparkle, and it was awesome. But that's not the best part. The best part was my uncle left after a couple of weeks, but he left his drums at my mom's house, and I got to play them the whole summer. Ba-ba-ba-bam, man, that was cool. And by that time, my brother had saved up and bought an electric guitar and an amp, so he and I would practice up in the bedroom that we shared with our other brother, younger brother. It was in a little Kansas country house, out in the country, literally. And just as a side note, it was one of those old houses with no air conditioning. So to say our practice sessions were warm is putting it mildly. But we played anytime we could. We were still young enough that we didn't have to have full-time jobs and, that whole thing. But it mostly meant when no adults were around. That's when we could play. My mom didn't discourage us from practicing. She just didn't want to be around when we did. And looking back on it now, maybe it wasn't just the volume. Yeah, we think we're good. And Mom's like, oh, how long? So I remember one song that my brother and I practiced and really worked on that we'd go over it and over it. It was I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home by Grand Funk Railroad. I'm your captain, yeah, 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 yeah. We didn't have mics and a sound system, so we'd just sing as loud as we could and play the song. And I remember I just loved it because I could play all those triplets as I sort of made that round trip through the drum kit. And I mean, it was fun. It was a blast. And it's a memory that I really enjoy replaying in my mind, a nicer, simpler time, just getting to play some music. As time went on, really I discovered even more joy and way more wonder in the magical power of a piano keyboard. Oh, yeah. And I also discovered how there's a lot more people willing to listen to me play a keyboard than the drums and percussion. Yeah, go figure, right? So another side note, I found out the lead singer for Grand Funk Railroad, his name was Mark Farner, became a Christian sometime after his rock and roll fame. So he now understands who the true captain is. I'm your captain, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he understands also how every day we're a little closer to home. See what I did there with his song and the lyrics and all that? Yeah, anyway. Okay, so keeping the beat of a heavenly song, tapping my fingers and humming along, loving the rhythm and loving the rhyme, and loving the one who paid for this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your listenage. That's not a word, but I like it. I appreciate it really and truly more than you know. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And remember, it's brought to you by TonyFunderburk.com. And remember, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a